Yeah, credit to Maryville. They came ready to play for sure. Obviously, this being a crosstown game, and brought a great fan section as well. And I guess that's why you play exhibitions, so we can prepare and we can get ourselves ready for the real thing next Monday. But they did a great job of rebounding, crashing the glass. Obviously hit some really timely threes. I think we had cut it to 9 a few times, and they just hit a timely shot after shot. And I don't know that we showed up to play for the full 40 minutes. I thought we had a decent start. I think it might have been 12-4 or so, 12-6. And then we couldn't come up with another run to put ourselves in position to have a better first half. And when you give a team like that life, I think that helps them play harder and give them more motivation. And so we've got a lot of things we've got to work on, and our women are fully ready to do that. The locker room was a locker room of knowing we got work to do. We have to get better. We have to every day come ready to practice and come ready to improve, take some accountability. I said we got to stop being soft, the soft women of this generation. And so I think that's a big part of what this group's going to be about and how we're going to respond.
Coach, you talked about the rebounding. I know that's a staple of
your
system and your game plan. Rebound, play defense. Talk a little bit more about, they rebounded really well.
Yeah, they did. Mm-hmm.
So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, they ran down a lot of balls, and they took a lot of threes. They took 37 threes, so a lot of opportunities for long rebounds. I think our women just weren't tracking on them, weren't finding bodies and making contact with people. Kind of felt like they could just turn and go get the basketball. And you see even with a team like them, they're not that much bigger than us, and we're pretty similar in size, I would say. They had a couple players that were from the post position a little bit bigger, but it was all about want. They wanted it more than we did. They went and got the ball more than we did. And so we've got to fix that. We've got to get better at that.
One of the things we did notice positive, you guys got to the basket. A lot of really good set plays, drives to the basket, players flying to the hoop. It was the finishing that was an issue. Talk a little bit about that. How does that get better?
Yeah, I think we just have to slow down. We have to take our time. We've got to be able to take a little bit of contact and finish and not feel like we're always looking for a foul or looking for an opportunity to get to the free throw line. We've got to be really focused on finishing at the rim and just slowing down. I think sometimes we're just going way too fast, and so our body is needing to slow down. And again, this is an opportunity for us looking at an exhibition film, looking at last week's SIUE film and getting to see ourselves get better, getting to see ourselves, in opportunities that we could have given better effort. We could have given, a better understanding of the game and like what was needed at that time. Those moments where you cut it to 9, like you really need to stop that next possession. That's a huge possession. You cut it to 9 and now you go down on the other end, you score, you hit a 3, now it's 6. Now it feels like something different for Maryville, right? Where they don't have a 12 or 14 point lead the whole way. And so I think our team just needs to recognize that and feel that a little bit more.
So you talked about accountability a little bit earlier. How difficult is it really in the season to make adjustments as you're still learning the roster and putting together rotations?
I wouldn't say it's difficult more than it's like, your group is learning each other. They're learning, a little bit of a new system. What we're doing offensively is much different than what we've done in the past. And so our group adjusting from that perspective, but the playing hard and the accountability thing should never change. That should be a non-negotiable when we walk in every day. That should be a non-negotiable for them individually, and pushing each other. And like I said, I think that we have practices and days where we have half the team that's super, super competitive. Can we get a full 17 that are super, super competitive? And we all have stuff, right? We have stuff outside of basketball. We have things that make it difficult for us. We have adversity. But what is our response when we walk on the court? Is our response a soft response, or is our response a response that's like, I'm going to go to work today. I'm going to get better. I'm going to look past whatever else I got going on, whether that's school related, whether that's outside related, whether that's family, whatever it is. And I'm going to put my best foot forward with my teammate next to me. And she's going to push me to do that, And so I wouldn't say it's necessarily hard, to make people accountable more than it's like they've got to hold themselves accountable. We can only say so much and push people so hard and, all of that. They've got to do that, and they've got to do that with their teammates. Their teammates got to hold them accountable. We have all got to be on the same page when it comes to accountability, And I would say tonight's one of those nights where we probably didn't have a full 17 that we're holding each other accountable, that we're really working hard all together.
Question 17 points tonight, rebounds. I know you take the win over your individual.
I'd rather score 0 points and get a dub. Yeah.
Right, every day of the week. But talk a little bit about what made you successful tonight.
Honestly, I had a really good pep talk with my teammate Jaden. She's one of our biggest energy players. I came off of her, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to play hard for you today. I'm going to play hard for this team. And then I came out, and I feel like I did that. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about, I mean, you've got a lot returning,
Yes.
but a lot of new players in the mix. Ashley mentioned, the rotations and learning each other. Talk a little bit about that from your perspective.
Honestly, it's been a lot of fun. We've been working together since the summer, but there's clear things that we obviously need to work on collectively since we have how many new people in? 5?
7.
7?
7. Yep.
So it's really nice having the returners because they still guide me, like Molly. She'll tell me what to do because there's still stuff that I'm confused on, but I think we're gonna be a very good team. We just gotta work hard collectively, get it together, and bring it every day. Yeah. Wednesday practice.
I'm really proud of Bree too. I think she had a great start. Obviously, the foul trouble comes into play a little bit, but she's got to be prepared and ready to play through foul trouble, and everybody does. And just understanding what your team needs. I think that's one thing. As a group of women, you look at your first 2 games, and if you're someone who is vying for playing time, or you're trying to compete and put yourself in a different position with whatever team you're on, look at what your team and your program needs. Your team or your program needs rebounding. You should really focus on rebounding. You should get in there on the offensive glass in practice. You should make it very clear to your staff, to your program that I'm going to be this rebounder that our team needs. Is it somebody guarding and keeping someone in front of them? Because I don't know that we did that all that well today. Are you going to be one of those people that does that? I show up at practice and I'm going to keep someone in front of me. I think that understanding of what it is that your team needs, and then trying to bring that every day is something our women, we talked about that in the locker room a lot. So, but yeah, that's why we play them. And so we're going to be ready to go next Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you.